Welcome back. So in this video we are going to look at form handling in Next.js 13 using React hook forms. So in this video, before I'm just going to show you the demo of what we are going to do. So we have this application. You can see it is looking nice. So what we want is to add a form, okay, on each product. So if I go down here on products, okay, I could just click on literally on any of these products. Let's say like this one. So if I click on this product, I go on its detailed page. Okay, so on the detailed page we have where we have order now. Okay, so when someone has liked this product, he want to order for it, he clicks on order now. So this order now, we go to the order page. So you can see there is this order page. See, on the order page we are getting the details, few details of this product, like the image. A person can look at what is ordering, the title, this some description, and even the price. Okay, and then we have the form here. Okay, we have the form here. And now on this form, this is the most important part we are going to look at, how to handle this form using in the Next.js using the React hook form. If I try to submit this form minus filling anything, you can see I have these errors. Okay, they are telling me you can't submit, you can't do anything minus filling in that. And others, if even when I type in like JB here, they give me the second error here, like name should be more than 3 characters. Okay, so this is really great. So we are going to look at how to handle the errors. Then next is want to go to the console here, and we see how we are receiving all this data for this form. So when I start typing here, you can see by default there is an object. Actually, let's just type in some data here, JB. Let's put some email, some contact, some district, town, and even quantity. Let me put in 2. And keep in mind we have the product price as 249.99 as the price. Now I'll put here, we look if it can calculate even the total price. So if I click order now, you see it has created an object here in the console having all these details. Let's look at the details. So the details, you can see it has picked all the data from here. It has the district, the email, full name, phone number, product price. You see, even if in the form we don't have the product price, but you see it has picked it. So we are transferring data from this and we are sending it to the form, and you can see it is getting it here. And then next it has product title. So you can see title, it has also been picked. This one, we have it here. And then we have the quantity, and look at the total price. It gets this product price, multiplies the quantity, and we have the total price. And it has finally the town. Okay, so this is what you are going to build in this video. So just let's say let's start the video. Welcome back. So before we start this video, I want to take this opportunity to thank those ones who have subscribed and they watch my videos. If you have subscribed to the channel, thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing and for sharing the content. If you have not subscribed, please just go ahead and subscribe, okay, so that we can keep making content for you. And to those ones who have their requests, if you have any video you want me to work on in Next.js specifically, you can just go ahead and comment in any of the video you are watching. Just comment at the bottom in the comment section. I will find that and I can work on that video. Okay, but I want to thank those ones who have subscribed. Thank you so much. So in today's video, as the title suggests, we are going to look at form handling using we are going to look at form handling, how you can handle your forms in Next.js using React Hook, the React Hook form. Okay, so in this project, if it is your first time to see this project, there is nothing really much. Most of the things in this project we have already discussed them: how to create components, how to render data. If you still find you have problems to create data in the JSON, just like this, you can see I have all my categories. If you look in this, we have the categories which are all here, and then down here we have also products which are here. Okay, if you find you have difficulties to do this in your application, I suggest you go and watch there is a video on my channel here, one of these ones, building reusable component. This one I made the last time. Just go ahead and watch this video here. We learned about data modeling, fetching, and even filtering. So we learned much in this video, so go ahead and first watch this video before you continue to a next one. But otherwise, I have the data in my app. I have the products, okay, which are all here, and then I also have the categories, okay, which are also here in my JSON. So I have all this data done, and I showed in this video how to model the data, and even with the help of ChatGPT while you are modeling it. And then we also talked about fetching the data. So I went ahead and I fetched the data. If you look in my app, there is where we have these the categories. If you check in these routes, we have where we are fetching the data under the API. Okay, we also talked about how to get the data into this API route. Then we have I think I've even explained how you can get your data through the libs, where you have these functions, the get categories and get products. Okay, so okay, yeah, it has loaded. So you can see we talked about how to do all this in that video. If you have not watched it, where you can fetch your data like this, and you can return your data, and then you can start using it in your app. So you just get this data and then you start using it anywhere you want in your app. Okay, so you can see when you go to my page, I have on top here I have the data fetched. Now you can fetch the data both client side and even I have the data fetched. You can fetch it both client side and server side. Okay, so here you use the client side to fetch the data, but you can also fetch it the server side way. In that video I showed how to do that. So in today's video, what you want to do, if you go back to the home page here, you see you can decide to sort by category, or you can scroll down to the products. Okay, now let's say you start from the categories. If you click here on any of these categories, okay, if you click on these categories, they will take you to the category page. So you can see we are on to categories, living room, and then I'm fetching all the data about this category. I have all this data fetched from the JSON DB, and then I have even the category image. You can see it on the side. I have also the keywords there. Then down here I have the products under this category, and then on the side I'm showing even other categories that you might be interested. Okay, and then you can see this code is also should be familiar. I created here under categories. If you want me to redo this kind of whole thing showing you how I did this, you can also comment in the comment section. And in the categories I created in this app, I created the categories. Inside the categories I created this slug here, and then I'm getting this data here. Okay, so basically I'm doing some filtering. I'm doing fetching using this slug. I first get all the products and all the categories. After getting those ones, and then I go ahead and then I can get a single category by using this slug that have been received, and then you can go ahead and do all this nice filtering that we did in that last video. So I have all these filters, and the filters specifically are for filtering these other categories that you see on the sides and even all these products. So if you click on any of these products, they should take you to the product detail page. So you can see very well on the product detail page is also we are doing data fetching. If you look here, it takes you to products, and then it takes you to this product conform section so far. So we have this product here. Now on this product we are fetching also its data. You can see the detailed section. We have also the features of this sofa. We have also the price. We have the original price. We have also the discount calculated, and we also have some tags here, such tags for this. And then what we want to add work on is this, whereby someone clicks on order now. So I want to click. If right now if you check, this link is not doing anything. So I'm just going to create the form, the order form for this product. Okay, I'm just going to go into the API here. I'm going to create order. So I'm just going to say click here, create a new folder. So this folder I'm just going to call it order. Okay, and then under this I'm just going to create there actually I want to create there a new folder also, and then this folder I'm just going to be using a slug. Okay, so that you can fetch the data. And then under this I'm just going to create also a new file, which is page.js. okay, so I'm creating page.js under this. Okay, and you can just go ahead and grab some, we can grab some data from these products, but let's start slowly. I'm just going to say RFC. Okay, just going to see RFC, and I see if I can build this this page. Okay, so this one we can just call this one order. Okay, now let me just say I'm just going to add here product order page. I'm just going to put only that. So I have created this this one. Okay, and then it's going to receive params. So you can receive params, and on these params we can destructure the slug. Okay, since it is here having order and then slug, then we can just say we can destructure of this slug here. Okay, and after destructuring the slug, let me just put, I can just go ahead and I put this slug here actually on the page. Let me put slug just here, just like that. So now next, let's go and connect the other page we have created. Okay, let's connect it onto this one. We want to connect this this order button, we connect it to the other page, this page we have just created here. So that one, I'm just going to go to products, and I'm just going to go to this page, and I'm just going to find where there is that button, the order now, and the button is here. Okay, so I'm just going to simply send it dynamically. So I'm just going to come here, and I'm just going to send this to a page. The page is called order. Okay, and then you're supposed to put the slug. So on this page we already have I guess the product on top here. If you check, we have this product already fetched, so I can get the slug. And even since it is a detailed page, we already have actually slug defined here. I think we can simply use that slug already. We do not need even to suffer a lot. So let me just try to put the slug direct there, and I see if it will work. So down here we are sending to product, and then it should have the slug here. And since the slug is this, we are going to put it just like that, slug. Or you could just simply say product.slug, it would still work. So we are sending on order page. Okay, we are sending on order page stroke slug. So let's go and click this button. I want to first refresh, okay, so that we see this button updating the info. Let's just wait for a second as it is refreshing. Okay, so now if I hover, you see on the bottom left here, just check on the bottom if you see. If I hover, you can see it is having the slug. So let me click there. So when I click this, then it should take me to the order form. Okay, I'm just clicking on this button, and let's see. Okay, so you can see we have the product order page, and you can see we have even the slug, and you can see here order, and then we have the name on top here of the product we are ordering. So on this we want to put some stuff, and actually I want to copy the same design here. So what I want is, I want the product details on this side, like the image. Okay, I want the image and the details. Okay, I want the image and the details. I could just go and create that component that we can use, that is going to have product details, and I think we can just simply modify. Let me just see. If we go to the home page, back to the home page, and it's loading some data here. Just wait for a second so that it loads this data. So what I want is, I want to modify the product so that on this, so if you look at these products down here, I need something like this. I need something like this onto that side. Okay, on the other page I need to have this product, and then I need to have the form. So what I'm just going to do is, I'm just going to have this product, because I guess we already have, let me see, let me just go to components, and you see there is where we have a single product here. We have a single product, and you can see text in a product, and then it has all these things already like done for us. I guess we can simply modify something like this on that page, so that we don't waste a lot of time. Okay, so what I'm just going to do is, on this page, so let's go to that page. We can click on any of these products here. Now we go and build that page. Now I'm just going to click on order now, and we are there. So let me just go back to that page here. here, and basically what I want to have is let me first go back to this page here. We could reuse some of these things here. So we have the product details, we have the image. So I'm just going to first copy some of this code here, and then we just talk about it in their side. So I'm just copying all this. Let me just go to the product slug page here. Okay, so let's just paste this here. Don't worry, I'm just going to explain and remove some things. So let's start with the name of the page. Let's name this order page, and it is also accepting the params, and then from these params we extract the slug. Now we can just want to fetch this single product. Since we want a single product on that order form, what we are going to do is we can get all products by saying await get products, and this await get products is using this from app libs folder. If you go to the libs folder on a get products function, it is this one. So this is why we are fetching the products. So we fetch all the products here, we bring them into the order page. Then next we have a single product here, and we are using a slug. This slug we're having here on top, we are using it to find this product. The next, we do not need, at this point we do not need to do any fetching of other category products. We don't need this, so I'm removing that. Even similar products, and then even these tags we do not need. So then on the return here, we want one side to have this product detail. We want one side to have the image, the details of the product, and then on the other side we also want the form. So the form is going to be this side. So let me just simply remain with this, and then this side I'm just going to simply put, let me remove all these. I want to put my form this side. Okay, I want to just simply put my form this side. Let me just remove all this, just to reuse some of the styles, not to write everything from scratch. Okay, and then here remove also this, and then even related products, we do not need them. Okay, so this side is going to be the form. So I'm just going to put here h2 h2. Let me just remove this. I'm just going to put here product. This is the order form, so the form should be there. Let me just go back and we see. So now if you just go order and then you're on here, you can see it was getting all this data. Let me refresh. Now you can see we have the image, and then this side we have the form. This is what I was saying. So in other words, here I want to put some things. We do not want to put only the image. Okay, so at this point, this side we can go ahead and add some details of this thing here, or on this side we could call the product. Okay, we could call the product and we give it some details. I don't know how would that look, because we have the product info here. Let me try it. So this side here, let me remove this image, and what I'm just going to do is, wait a minute. So this, we have this here. Okay, let me try to call the image. In fact, let me just comment out this. Let me call the image, the product, So I want to call out the product component. Okay, from components, product component. Okay, just like that. So the product component is here, and if you see, it takes in the, if you look at this component, product component here, it takes in the product as a prop, and this product is one which is having all those details. So let me go back here and let me just say product. So you can pass this prop here as product, because we already have also the product already here on top. If you see here, after fetching, we have this product here. So let's see. Let's see. Okay, so this is how it is looking, which is really more weird. So what we can just do is we can, I think, maintain our old version, I guess. Let me remove this product. I don't like the way it is displaying. Let's first maintain this. This one was much better. I don't want us to waste more time onto this. So we want to have a nice looking image here. Let me see if I can add some information below it. So for instance, we can have the details. We need the product name. Okay, so here you can add h2, and then this h2 we can add product name. So we can just see literally here, we can just say product dot title. Okay, and then down here we can also have paragraph dot description. Okay, we can have the description, and you can just say product dot description, and let's check from the database the description where it lies. We could check on this page here. We could check on this page how we called it from just here down. I just need to see the product. So it is, we have this, the description is called product.seo. So just like that, I'm just going to simply copy this. Okay, just here down we can have the description, and these keys I'm calling are there on the product. If you go to the product database here, you can see a single product. Okay, it has ID, category ID, title, slug. It has a brief description. It has a SEO description. It has all these descriptions that you can find on it. It has images, and all that kind of information. Okay, so right now after putting them, they have just come here, and I feel like we are going to modify to make this one look much better. Okay, let's just go back. So we have that information, and I think this is enough. And even the price, let's put the price. So we are on the order. So down here, after this, I'm just going to go down here and I put P, in fact H2. Okay, I'm just going to put here price. So it is product dot current price. So I'm just going to put here current price, just like that, and let's see if it fetches that also. Okay, just a second. Okay, so it is here, the price, and let's say UGX, and all these things here, I'm just going to put them in a div. So let me just name it as product content product content, just like that. Just put them here, and then now I'm just going to go and add here order page. I'm just going to say order page so that we can style these other ones. So under the order page we'll have these, we can add all these content here. Now we have the image under the, let's first minimize and see. Okay, so this side we will have to add it also inside. So let me just create the left side. So I will cut from here going to where, up to here. Okay, okay, so this one I'm just going to see order details. Okay, I'm just going to put them there. Okay, so that we have all of these ones. So order details, we can target this one and we give it a flex and column. You can see, yeah, actually they have gone there for some reason. Okay, you can see all of them, they are down here. So what you're just going to do is you're just going to somehow style this. Okay, style this one. So let me just go to the order details, more especially. Let me just go to order details. I don't know if I should create a new SAS for it inside here, or we should use the existing. Let me just create a new one, a new SAS file. I'm just going to say order.scss, and then I'm just going to import it into the main here. So done, see at import, and then this here I'm just going to say dot slash, and this was order, just like this. Okay, so let me just go to the order.scss and let me just put this class here. Okay, and to see it very well, let's give it a background color of red so that we can see it if it is working. Okay, just refreshing here to see if it is working. Just wait a minute as it loads. And let me hope you have no issues of fetching data. If you still have issues of fetching data, take your time to watch the videos. Some people tell me that the videos are long, but the fact is you have to take your time and watch the video. Don't worry about the time. What about if you are understanding what is being told? It doesn't make sense to make this video in only 30 minutes and then you don't understand the concepts. What matters is go in the video and try to understand every part of the project, how we are doing it. Okay, so when we go back here, you can see that the fetching here has been the design here. You can see how it is being designed. Okay, so now that in this product detail we are on this order page, we can redesign it, or we could give this one width. Let me see if I say width to be 50%. Let's see that. Another thing what we want is to, okay, so that is good, 50%, so that it leaves enough space for the form here. And then what we want is this image to fill in all here this space. So let's target the image now. I'm just going to target this product image. Let me try to target this. Okay, let me first give it width of 100%. Okay, and let's see if it changes. Okay, and even the image inside here, we can target the img, and let's give it also width of 100%. Okay, so that we want this image to fill this whole space, and then we're also going to give it some height. And for the height, let me just come here and say height. I want it to be like let's just say 200 pixels first. We see how it looks like. And then for this one, let's also give it height 100%. And what else? We can give it object fit cover. Okay, so it is filling in very well here. Yeah, so far that is how the product looks like, and I think we don't need this now. Red, let me just remove this red now. Let's see. So we can put some small padding to this whole thing. Okay, you can add some small padding. So to this page, the order page, so this one we can cut it and we put it in the order page. Okay, then inside here we have all these ones. So for the order page, let's give it some padding. Top and bottom, let's say 2 rem, and on the sides, let's say 3 rem. So let's give it some, try to give it some spacing so that it doesn't, yeah, maybe that way. Okay, and then these ones we can also go ahead and give them some spacings. So I'm just going to target this. Under the product image, we have other things like this product content. So let me just go to the product content inside this here, product content. I'm just going to give it a display flex direction to be column, and let me give a gap of like 0.8 rem. Okay, so that one should just add some small gap to this, yeah, just like that. And then we can give it just here padding top, maybe here padding top, and just say 1 rem, just to make sure it doesn't touch on this, on our image. Okay, so you can see on the order now I have the image. Okay, I have the image here, and then I'm supposed to have the form. Now up to this point here, you don't need, even if you don't watch all the part up to this point, this is the main point where we are going to have this component of the order form. Okay, so you can just come here and we just get the content we are going to put on the order form. So we can just come and here we say, you can just say product order form, and you can just type jot forms, and the jot forms you can use to get how they design different forms. Okay, you can just open one of these jot forms, and they have a lot of templates. So want to look at one of their templates for the product form, and we see what is the most information that we should just capture here on the form. Okay, So you can see we need the name, we need the email, we need the contact, the phone number, and maybe we need the address, okay, and then some other things. Okay, so maybe you can even also ask for the quantity of this item they are ordering. How many items do they want? So I'm just going to create a form component. So I'm just going to come here in components. So under components, I'm just going to create a new file called order form. So I'm just say order form .jsx. Okay, so now I'm just going to say RFC. So this order form, and just say going to say title. Let me put h2 order form, just like that. And let me just come here and import this into this side where we have the order form here. Let me import this component order form, okay, from the components. If I run this now, let's refresh. It should just be showing us order form. Let me put from components, order form from components, so that we just know it is coming from the component side. Okay, and I guess at this point also you shouldn't have any problems creating we have said data fetching using a slug. That one should not be a problem. If you have any problem, just go ahead and watch the data fetching video so that you understand very well how to fetch a single product. Okay, you understand how to fetch a single product. So we are fetching it on the orders. We are fetching this here, and then here I'm having this. Let me just also I'm having this from the components. So you can see I have this coming from the component side. So I want to put some fields onto this one, on this form. So down here I'm just going to have this as a container. So just give a class, let me give it order form actually, and then it has the title, and then down here I'm just going to have we can have the form itself now, and inside the form I'm going to have some fields. So as we have said, we have information about the user and information also about the product. This is the information about the product. The user can see it on the side here, and then on this side we are going to have for the form. So let me just go ahead and put some things in the form, and this is why you are supposed to pay attention, because this is why the video starts here, because we are going to see now everything on the form on this part. Even if you do not understand the parts where we did data fetching, it doesn't matter. What matters now is that you pay attention on this part where we are going to do the form. Okay, so I'm just going to say here make order, okay, by filling in the form, maybe just like that. And then down here I'm just going to have the form fields. Let's say we need, I'm just going to say dot field form field, and inside the field I will have a label. So for instance, let's start with the full name. So I'm just going to get the full name. Okay, maybe I do camo casing, full name, just like that. And then here I'm just going to put full name, and here down you can put the input, okay, input text, and we can give it some things like placeholder, and you can say here e.g. John Doe. I'm just going to say e.g. John Doe, okay, just like that. And then what else can we put on this? Just see now, so we'll have the inputs now coming onto the side here. So let's add more inputs. So we need the full name according to the design here. Let me bring this design very close, so you can see they also have the product, and then you can just select, let me just scroll down here. We have the full name, we have the email. So the second one is email, okay. I'm just going to duplicate this field here. Let's have the email. So here label for email. Here let's add a label of email, and then input type is email, and then placeholder you can put e.g. so can you say John Doe at gmail.com. so you can also put here e.g. and then yeah, and that is it. Okay, so next is the phone number. So you can just come here and do that. Label for here just say phone, then here we can say phone number, okay, and then type, we can just name it text, okay, or even if you put tier, there is also for tier. And then down here you can just see maybe e.g. You can just start is plus 256 784 and blah blah. That is not my contact, be careful with that. So another one, so we have this contact number, and actually just name this one contact number, maybe contact number. Then let's see next. So there is this billing address where the person is located. I'm just going to see district and maybe town, so I'm just going to have to fill this. I'm just going to have to fill this here. Okay, so label for, let's just say we just put location. I don't know if you just call it location, or we have town and the district. So let's just say let's first add district, and then here I'm just going to say district, and then input type text. Then here you're going to say e.g. You can just name any of the district you want. Let's just say e.g. Kayunga, or you can just say Iganga or anything, but any of the district that that person might be located in. Next, let's get the town. Okay, so just say here field label for town. So let's put the town text, and you can just say here e.g. I don't know the town that is there, but you can name any town, maybe Kayunga town, I don't know, this is for the town. Okay, now I think we have everything done. Let's check. And next, what we can add on is also two things. Okay, we want to know the quantity, so I'm just going to duplicate this, put here. So this one is going to be for the quantity, QTY. Okay, and here you can just say product quantity. Okay, and input type is, you can put number, someone to feed in a number, and you can also remove a placeholder. Just remove the placeholder. Okay, and we have the amount the person want to order, and down here we can put the button. So here say button, and it should be submit, button of type submit, and let me just put here order. Okay, so now if we check, okay, if we check here, we have our form, we have the full name and all this information here. Okay, so we can just go ahead and use it very well, and let me just go and we style it somehow. So let's just go to the order. We have the order.scss here. So we have the order, it has the details, and let me just go back here. So there is where we have this product detail content, this one. Just grab that class, we put here, and then we can go to this order form, and then we grab all these classes here. So we have the order form. Okay, inside here we have the order form, and then we can just continue, and then we have this h2. Okay, we have this h2. I'm just going to target that h2, give it some sort of padding, so you have h2. Okay, if you look at the h2 right now, the problem it has, we can give it some padding bottom or margin bottom, whatever you choose. Let's just say 1 rem. Okay, that is to put some space onto the form here. And now next, let's style these, the labels and the inputs. Okay, so we can just do the field. So inside here we have the form itself, then inside the form we have the field, which we can just use display flex. Okay, and let's put gap also of 0.5 rem. Let's see that. Okay, now we don't want these fields to be in front like this. Let's change the flex direction to column. Okay, if we do that, it will change these ones into a column, just like so. Okay, this is already looking somehow great. So let's just work on these. So on each individual, let me first reduce this one to 0.3 or 0.2. So for each, let me add margin bottom of maybe 5 pixels. Let's see how that one looks like. Doesn't look so much. Let's just add 10 pixels. Okay, so that one looks okay. Let's work on these input so that they look somehow okay. So to the input, okay, so you can give padding, more especially top and bottom, which I'm just going to say 0.5 rem, and on the sides I'm just going to leave it at maybe 1 rem. Okay, so that is how it looks right now. Okay, that is how it looks. We have all these fields, and it is already looking in it. I don't think we need much more things here. What I can just do is maybe on this product to give it some more height. Just a second. Here where we have the product image, let's give it a height of 300 so that it matches with our form here. Yeah, just like that. Okay, so we have here it is already looking okay. So now let's concentrate on the parts that matter right now. Let's also make this button to look nice. So to the button, in this form there is a button down here. Let me put the button. So the button, let's give it some padding, top and bottom. Let's give it the same padding like this. Let's give it cursor pointer. Let's give it border none. Let's give it font size 20 pixels. Okay, next let's see now how it looks like. Okay, let's give it a background color. Background color, let's say primary, and let's give it color also to be white. And what next? You can just give it a border radius if you wanted to. Okay, so let's just say here put the text to be order this product. So down here I'm just going to come to the here order this product, and what we can also do is we can change this to be in caps. Okay, so we have the full name, we have the email, contact info. So right now we have our form, everything is right now on it, and up to this point I have not done anything that is special. I've simply fetched the product here on the side here. You get, we have fetched the product details here, and we have the product also details here. Okay, the form that a person can submit, and now we have also here the product quantity. So we would want to get all this data. Okay, we would want to see all this data here somewhere. We want to collect all this data. So this is our first time to do form handling. So I'm going to start, whether you are having a contact form, whether you're having a sign up form, whether you're having that, you can still use this same method I'm just going to show you. So the most important part of this video is, one, how do we get the form fields or this data here that someone has entered? When someone puts here the name, when someone puts here the email, like, how do we get the data? That is the first thing. How do you get the data? And then how do you validate the data? If someone has not entered here, how do we validate the data before submitting the information? Now, form handling, it has like multiple ways of doing it. Okay, So we are going to use this tool called React Hook Forms. Okay, if it is your first time to hear the React Hook form, it is a library, okay, that you can use to do form handling. Okay, so simply type in here in the browser, you can type in React Hook Form, just like this, and then they will, in the searches, you can click on this first link here. Click on this first link, it will bring you to this page. So on the home page, you can just click on this, it will take you to their home page, and then on the home page you can simply click on get started. That's why I clicked to reach where I am right now. So you can see it is under get started, and they give you how to get the data. And the first thing before you go ahead is to install this package. So you can just copy this npm install React Hook Form, of which I think I did. Okay, so down here I'm just going to move this up, click on this second terminal. If you look here, I have it installed. Let me move up there for a minute to show you. So I ran npm install React Hook Form, and it installed it here. And to confirm that it has been installed, you can go to your JSON. Okay, just simply scroll down here to your package.json, and you see it is here, version 7. Okay, so after you have installed it, now you can still get part of this video now from here. But if you check here the example they gave us, they have this hook called use form. Okay, so we are going to use that hook, and how that hook is being used, let's go back to our form on top here. So on this form here, I'm just going to import that one. So I'm just going to come down here, say const, okay, and I'm just going to get this use form. Okay, we get use form, no, right now, so we use this is equal to use form. Okay, so you're also going to use this use form from React Hook Form. Now this use form itself, it gives us two things. Okay, actually there are many things it gives us, but for now let's first get two things here. The first one, it gives us handle submit. Okay, it gives us handle submit, and then it also gives us the register function. So this use form first gives us these two important functions. So these are two functions we are getting from use form, and what is the purpose of these functions? So first, what we want for sure is, one is to be able to get this data. When someone types this data, we want to be able to get this information. That is the first objective one. When someone types here the name and is like called MokeJB, here you need, when you click on order here, we need to grab this data here. Okay, so that is the first thing. So that function, to get the data from the form, we are going to use a combination of these two functions. So first, let's first go to our form, and we are going to remove this action, and let's give it on submit. Okay, so on submit. Now on submit, you're supposed to run a function here on submit. Let's create a function that is going to run on submit. So we can just say function. Let me create a function, and let me just go it on submit. Okay, now this function is going to be receiving data, and what you want here is to say console. Maybe at this point we can say console console.log data. At this point, you just say console.log data. Now this function here is we just come and put it on here on submit. So if I just come and I put on submit here right now, and before we do anything, since we are using this on submit, anyway, let's first leave it so that it makes an error, so that you see also that error. So I'm just going to come here and I say console.log form submitted. Okay, so that we know that the form has been submitted. If you just go back here, we are going to have an error. Okay, we are going to have an error, and they are telling you here, use create context only works in the client component, and you support use client. Okay, so since we are using this on submit and even this hook on top here, let's just put one thing. I'm just going to remove React here. I'm just going to put use client, just like that. Solve the problem to convert this into a client component. So after doing that, it's going to reload here, and this error is going to go away. Okay, so now if I just go press F12, okay, if I press F12, that one looks really bad. I can put this, stack this onto the bottom. Let me stack this onto the bottom so that we remain with, and I don't want responsive. Let me first get out of responsive. Okay, so we can have this still here, and let me move it slightly above. I think I'm just going to take it back on this side. Okay, so now I have the console here. I don't know why all these ones are showing. Anyways, let me just go down here, scroll down. Okay, so what I want is to see if we click this, if something happens. If I click, you can see here down form submitted. That means it has run this function. Where is the function? It has run this function on submit. So if you just go down here and let's press it again, click it, you see form submitted, and it refreshes the page. Okay, of course we can stop that behavior, but for now what we want is actually getting the data from this. Okay, so that process takes in to get the data from the form. We are going to use a combination of these two functions from the use form. Okay, so the first thing is we just come here on the form. Instead of putting direct this on submit, let's just give it handle submit. So we call the handle submit function from the use form, and then we pass our own function on submit. Okay, so this on submit now, and when you do that, this handle submit will be getting some data from the form automatically, and then to be handing it into this on submit function. And that means that we can just come and receive that data here. Okay, so this handle submit function gets data from the form, and it passes that data to this on submit function, and then we can handle that data inside here. Now, how does this handle submit get data from this form inputs? So we have to register each individual form input. We have to register it. Okay, so I will just come here and I will say to register an input, you just use those curly braces and call the register function, and let's pass the name of this. For instance, we are calling this one to be full name, so I'm just going to pass in full name. Okay, so by doing this, the register function works together with the handle submit function to get data from the form, and then they can pass it to this on submit function. Okay, so if we do that now, instead of consoling this, let's console data, just like that. Okay, so let me just go back now here, and let me just hope it is rebuilding here. So now what I want is, I'm just going to type in the full name, and let me just also put the email. Let me put some email at gmail.com. Now you will see on 84 blah blah. So let me just click on this function. Now you can see I have the data here being consoled on line 8. Okay, and you can see the data is having the full name only. Okay, what does it mean? I entered all other information here, but they only brought this one. Okay, they brought only this one. That means if you want the data to be sent or to be picked, you have to register all your details. Okay, so you have to register all the fields. So we go to the email. So right now, let me go to the email. And by the way, you do it inside the input. If you look here, be careful. I'm having inside the input itself is where you register that input. So let me just continue. So inside here, I'm just going to register the email. So I'm just going to call this one email. So go ahead and register all the fields. Here we have the contact. I'm just going to name this one the phone contact or the phone number. So let me just go inside this and put this, and then just say phone number. Could call it contact number, any, and then let's go ahead and put this here. Register this. This is district. So district. Okay, let's go ahead register the town. So just go ahead here and register, and just say put town, and let's go ahead and also register quantity inside here, quantity, and we could just put QTY, then the button we don't need. So now after we have done that, we have registered all the inputs. Let's now put again all other details. Okay, let me put all the details now. District Kayunga, town, let's just put Kayunga town, and quantity, let's say 3. Okay, so now if we come down here, let's say console the data, and you can see very quickly we have all this data. Sorry for that. So we have all this data. I don't know why my console looks like that. Okay, let me try to expand this here so that you guys can see very well. So you can see I have all my data. I have the district, email, full name, phone number, quantity, town. Okay, so getting the data from the form, that one is very easy, and we have handled it. Okay, that one we have handled it very easily. So the second thing we want to do is validation. So let me refresh. Okay, I've refreshed all this. Now if you see, if I click order form, you see all these data, they are going to be empty here. So want to put some validation. If someone submits, try to submit without want to put here some errors. Okay, want to put here some errors. So the first thing we are going to do is we are going to go back on our we can go on this use form. It has one thing it can give us. I'm just going to put a comma, and it can give us form state. So it can give us form state, and on this form state we can destructure what we call errors. Okay, it has on the form state we can get errors. You can also get the state of is submitting here, is loading, is submitted. It like they give you all these states here. Okay, but right now let's concentrate on only errors. Okay, let's concentrate on only errors. So they give us the errors. Now what we do to make sure those errors are seen, for instance, like on the name. So inside this register function, we can pass in here, we can pass in something, for instance, say required. Okay, so you can just say something like required. Okay, and then we can set, I think this is supposed to be an object. Let me see, we can just pass in an object and we say required, and we can set this to true. Okay, we can set this to true, and see the right syntax where I am getting this one. You can go back to the docs here, and you can see here they have the form state, and then they have extracted the errors. They have extracted errors from the form state, and what they do is on registering here, you pass in an object. Like you can pass in the name, and then you can also pass in here required, for instance, to true. I am going to show you in a minute where they have all these things here. So if I pass in required true, now that one is not going to show the error anywhere on the UI here. But if you want to show the error, we can just capture it down here. So below the input, let's capture the error. I'm just going to go below this input down here, and I'm just going to put curly brackets, and I can say if the errors exist, if we have errors dot, now you can access on these errors, you can access for the full name here, the one you passed here, the key you passed here. You can say if they are existing for the full name, then if this is true, then we can go ahead and get the error. Okay, and now we can just say span. I'm just going to get here a span to show this error. Okay, just like that, and inside here I'm just going to see errors dot full name, I guess, and you can just see the syntax also from here. They have it here. You see they have passed here this let me just zoom in so that you can see very well. You see here they have passed in they have registered an input with the name example required, and they passed in here the required is equal to true, and then down here to capture the error, they first checked if the errors dot example required, they're using this key, and if it's there, then they can just pass in this this field here, and you simply put here the error that you want to be seen. So down for us here, we can pass in here on the span. Okay, on the span we can say full name is required. Full name is required. Just like that. And now this span, I'm just going to give it a class name of error so that we can style it. So I'm just going to go get this error here in the order, and it is inside the field, and you just put here dot error and simply give it color red. Okay, give it color red, as simple as that. Okay, so now let's go and see if this one works. So we are going to leave this full name empty, and we try to submit the data. So if I try to submit now, you see here they are saying full name is required. That means it is working. Okay, so you can do this for all the fields. Okay, you can just do that for all the fields. Let's just go ahead in the form. So simply we are just copying this. Okay, in fact, let me just copy only this. So on the email, we just simply put a comma here, and you put an object, you say required, and you set required to true. And then after outside here, you can put this, and you can say on the full name, and you can say email, errors.email if this one, and you can just say email is required, email is required, sorry, email is required. Just go ahead and also do it for every field. So just put this and say required, and we are setting it to true. Okay, and then down here they just put this, and you can say errors dot phone number. Okay, errors dot phone number, and you can copy this here, paste it here, errors dot phone number. If this one, you can just say contact is required. Okay, you can just say contact number is required. So just like that, and you can just do all this for others. Okay, just take your time and add all these for all the labels. Just inside here the register, put comma and put an object, and you can say required, and you can set this to true. And then outside, I'm just going to put the span, and this is for the district. Okay, the name you put in the register here is the what you put here, district, and here yes, say district is required, district is required. And last but not least, let's just go to this town here, put a comma, required, set it true. Okay, and then down here you can just put the span. Okay, you can put the span and you say this one is errors dot town. Okay, just going to say errors dot town, just like that. Town is 1n, and you can just say here town is required, town is required. And I think the last one is quantity, so I'm just going to come here, put comma, and let me just say required. Okay, required is true. And now down here we can just see outside this, let's go ahead and put the span, and this is quantity, QTY, and then here you can just say quantity is required, quantity is required, just as simple as that. And we have done for all of them, we have done for all the fields. So now what you want to see is that it refresh, and we are going to try to submit and see if we get all these places with errors. So I'm just going to click on this, and now you can see all the places are having the required and the data was not submitted. This is a very saving much time compared if you are going to do these validations on your own. Okay, so this is how you can put the validations. Now still on the validations, if you want to put more than one validation, okay, for instance, you can just want the name to be required, at the same time you want it to be more than 3 characters. So if you scroll down here, they give you all the validation. You can have the first one you have seen is required, you have the mean, the max, min length, max length. You can even put your own pattern like a regex. Okay, you can put your own pattern. And now what you can change is that you can, for instance, put here, you can pass in, like, for instance, first name is true, and then you put comma, you put max length like here. Okay, so you can just use something like this. Now the only thing that you should also notice is that how do you capture for the two. Let's work on the name like here. So let's see, I'm just going to put, like, for an example, I'm just going to go here on the name, show you how what I mean. So first thing is here on the register, we have passed an object and we had required true, so you can put comma. Okay, you can put now like min length, so just put min length, and we can set min length to 3. Okay, let's say the minimum length we need is 3 characters. So how do we capture this error here? That would be the problem. Okay, so what you do is errors dot full name. Okay, and we can also say dot type somewhere, dot type, okay, is equal to required. Okay, you can just say is equal to required. This is how you can customize for this, the required one. You add in on the full name, you can ask which type are we validating. You see we have the required here and we have the min length. So for the required, you say dot type is equal required, and then you can put this error. So if you want to put another one, I can copy this down here, and I can say if this type is equal min length, so you can just say mini length, and the one you put actually is this here. Make sure you are putting this very key here of min length. So let me just put here min length. Yeah, so if errors dot full name dot type is equal min length, now we can give here and we can say the name should be more than 3 characters. Okay, so we have this, the name should be more than 3 characters. So let's just go back and let it refresh. We can actually just refresh it. Okay, let's refresh here and see. Cannot read undefined type. Okay, let me just confirm in the documentation. I am somewhere, let me see if I can see somewhere where they have used that. Let me just see somewhere they have used that. Okay, so here I can see they have register required, and they're saying errors dot first name, and they say dot type is equal to required. So they just put here the question mark, errors dot full name, seeing the, okay, let's just see if we can reload this, if it will work. The type, okay, seems it is working. So now what we want is want to submit and see if it is working, showing the 2 errors. So if I click now, they first show the first error, full name is required. You see that? So I just change this one to something like JB, which is only 2 names, and just see after putting the JB it has already changed. The name should be more than 3 characters even before clicking this. Okay, even before clicking that, it has already changed. Name should be more than 3 characters. So this is how you can show more than 2 errors at the same time. You can first show the first one, the type required, and then you can show the type min length, and then all the fields you can check. I've shown you. You can just go ahead and search for that here. They have so many here. We have these min, max, min lengths, max lengths, and then there is also pattern. And on the pattern, you can provide your own regex. For instance, they are here. You can provide your own regex, and yeah. So that is the important part. So now if I come and I fill in all these things, let me just fill in all these, and you can see the errors are simply going. Okay, let me just put here town for now, and quantity, let me put 3. Okay, so now what you want is to get all this information. If I click order now, you see all the information has been populated. Okay, now what we want is, at this point, what we want, if you are going to make the order, we want to get some part of this data and then part of the data from this database. You get, we need to get this data here. So in other words, on this data we are having, because this is the data we are going to save to the database, or to save somewhere, if I'm to show you. So this data here is the data we are going to finally send. So if you have to send an email, so send email to client of what they have ordered, we'll be sending this data. Okay, we'll be sending this data, but now we don't have this data from the product. Okay, we would want to send, for instance, the product name and the product price. Okay, so that means in this form, I'm just going to pass in these 2 figures like this, this name and this one. And remember, he has said 3 products. We have to show also the total cost of getting these ones. Okay, we can show the quantity 3, and we can also come up with the total price. Okay, so what I'm just going to do to this, going back here, I'm going to pass in here some data. Okay, I'm going to pass in the price. Okay, I can just come here and I pass in the price, which is going to be equal to product.price. This one I can pass in here. I pass it to the form, and then I can also pass in the title of the product. Let me just say title is product.title. I'm just going to say product.title. This one gives us the title of the product, like this. So I'm getting the title, I'm sending it. So if I go to the order form, I'm supposed to receive the price and the title. So if I come back here, okay, if I come back here, now I will receive these 2 things here. I'm just going to come here. I can receive the price, okay, and then also the price and the title, just like that. So now the question of the day is, how do we add them to this data? That is the main question. How do we add them to the data? Okay, we have to know how do we add them to this data. So to be able to do that, we can first create a new state. I'm just going to go down here and create state. So I'm just going to go say const. Let me just create state, and it's going to be form data set form data. just like that, is equal to use state, use state. Okay, and by default we can just make it an empty object. So right now I'm just going to import use state from React. I can just get it from here, import use state okay, from React, as simple as that. So I'm getting the use state from React and I'm using it here. Okay, so now the form data, when we get the data from the form here, we can just set it here. So we can just set form data, we can set it to data, just like that. Okay, so if we do this, and now let me console.log data outside. So console.log data, just as simple as this. Okay, I'm just setting, whenever we run this function, I get the data from the form, I set it to this data here. Remember, we haven't used these two things here we passed for the price and the title. So let me just go again, and now I want to submit. Okay, it is not supposed to be data. We are supposed to console form data, sorry, because actually this data you're seeing here is a local variable. So when you define a variable within a function, you cannot access it outside that function because of the scope. So here it is only scoped, or it is only valid inside this function. Outside it, that's why we cannot use data outside this function. That's why we had to create state. So if I just go back, it will just take away this error now. Okay, so now let me try to submit some data, and you can see already we have 2 from 16. If you see 16 is this one. The data is empty right now. So let me just fill in some data very fast. Okay, just like that, and turn, and then this one, let me just say 38. So if I submit, you can see that now I have 2 consoles. Okay, I have the one from 12, which is the data, and then I have this order, the one of 16, that is setting it to the data. Okay, so you can see now we are having all this data we are getting here. I can remove this console now. We are getting all this data and we are setting it here. So what we want first is to make sure we modify this form data. So by default, instead of it being empty, okay, here we want to set these 2 things. We want to set the product title and the product price to be the initial data, because initially we already have the product. If you go to this page, initially we have this product here. Okay, we want to send this product details with the information we are getting from the client. We want to send it with this detail. So what we can do is, here initially on form data, we can initialize it with some data from, for instance, product title. So I'm just going to say product title to title, since we are passing in title, comma. I'm just going to say product price, and I'm just going to say price, just like that. So now if I do this, so before even we set it here, we are going to be having this data by default. So if I just go back, okay, I can refresh, and you'll see that on the console we now have, initially, instead of having an empty object, okay, we will have some data in the app. You can see. So by default, we are having two things. We are having the product title and the product price. We are having them here because we pass them from here, we pass them to the form. Now we are getting it as the initial data. Now the problem we have, if I populate the new data just like this, if I put the new data here, let me put 3, and I click order, it has populated with the new data, but it has replaced all the data that was there. You see, we have the district, email, full name, phone number, quantity, town. So all the data that was there previously has been replaced, this one. So we don't want this one. We don't want to replace this data. Instead, we want to get the data and we add on this existing one. Okay, so how do we do that? So we have to modify this set form data function. So this set form data, we have to modify it. So instead of saying just doing this, what we could do is we first access the previous data. Okay, we can access the previous data, and on this previous data, so now we can set, okay, we can just create a new object, okay, and we can just first say set the previous data, leave all the previous data in it. So here we are creating a new object from this, or we are setting it a new object. That's why I'm just making this. So set it to be first spread the old data. After spreading, and we can also put the data. Okay, I don't know why I'm having this. I think that should be okay. Rev data, which is this one. Okay, let me just check the syntax. Form data, it takes in a new function which returns a new object that sets the data. Okay. Let me just see if I have errors. Of course, I have errors. Okay, let me just try to rewrite it. So we have here, we first access the previous data, and let me just see if I return a new object. I don't know if I'm supposed to put it inside this. Okay, and then you say dot prev data. Okay, and then comma, and then let's put also data. So what this one means is that we don't want to use our previous data. So we have access to the previous data on this set form data, and the previous data we are talking about is this, the one that we had set by default, this one. Okay, so we can now maintain this, and now we're accessing it as previous data. Then inside here we create a new object. So I'm creating a new object, and this new object I'm adding the previous data, and then I'm just concatenating this data here. So if we check, okay, this error now should go. Okay, so now let me just hoping that it has already refreshed. Okay, so now let me just click order now. Okay, let me just refresh to be sure, and I'm also going to clear the console. Okay, so by default we have these two. We have these this is the initial data here. Now let's populate it with some data here. Okay, I'm putting in 5 here and click. Okay, now you see this. Now we have our data maintained. So we have added district, email, full name, phone number, product price, and product title. We have remained with them. Now what we want is we want to get the total price. Okay, we want also to add the total price because we have the product price and then we're supposed to add here the total price. Okay, so the total price of this when you multiply by 5. So the first thing we are going to do is we are going to first get the quantity. So we know quantity we can get from data. If you look at the data, we have quantity on it. So we can create a new key. I'm just going to say const. Okay, const actual price or total price. Let's just say total price. Total price is equal to, so it is the price which we have here as price times, okay. Now this data, if you look at it here, let me first remove this to avoid error. If you look at this quantity is a string, so you have to convert this into a number. So I can just say times, and then I just convert this into number by using the number function, and then I say data.qty. So this one is giving me the quantity and converting it into converting it into a number, and then after we multiply it by price, then we get the total price. So after getting it, we can now add it to the object, comma, and I can add a new key here, total price to equal total price. Okay, to equal total price here. So the value of this key is this total price. So if I do that, now I just go back. Let's refresh. Okay, let's refresh, and let me just feed in the data again, just like that. I just add like 2. I say click order product, and okay, email is required. Really, why are we having this? Email is required even when I put the email. Let me try to add the email. Okay, it doesn't show like as if this is an email. Let me refresh. Okay, let me just put this, and for the email, let me put that. Okay, just like that, and let me put 2. Let me click order. Something is not right. Okay, something is not right for sure. Let me just submit. Okay, so the data is submitted now. So if you check now the data, let's look at this. So you look at, we have the district, we have the email, full name, phone number, product price, we have product title, we have the quantity, okay, and then you have total price. Look at that. So we have multiplied this by 2, and we have the total price, and then we have the town. Okay, so we have all the data, even including the manipulated one. Okay, we have all the data including all the manipulated one, and this is really super great. Okay, so in the next episode, I'm just going to show you, okay, in the next episode, I'm just going to show you how now do we get all this data, and then we can send it as an email. Okay, we can have all this data, and now we can send it as an email, so that the owner of the shop can get this this data. We can either save it to database, and then we have the admin section, or we can simply send an email of this information so that the owner of the shop can get this as an email. But you see, we have all these things. You can even send the image. Okay, you can get the image link. You can have this. If you see, if we have here, you see we have the image link. You can get this image link, and then you can also send it here. You can also capture it here. Anything you want, you can get it to this, and you save it with the data you are going to send. Okay, and that is really great, and I wish you all the best. Thank you for watching the video. I will see you in the next one.